before we get into tonight's session, there is actually one thing I would like to clarify for the audience, because it's actually something we discussed as players, and I want to make sure, I think they're not like necessarily a retcon, but something that was said by a player, by Caden, and I want to clarify. So for the board vote that happened in the previous season, and what was the vote that happened a couple of episodes ago, that board vote was actually for the CEO spot for Vital Medical Group, which is owned by the greater Ethos Investment Properties that the Lysander family, that Silas Lysander Sr. owns. So Dorian actually won the spot. Caden won the spot and gave Dorian the spot of CEO of Vital Medical Group, and just Vital, the medical company, not Ethos Investment as a whole. And I think Caden had said Ethos, and it was like, oh shit, like he got the whole company. And so just clarifying that for everybody, that Dorian is currently now acting CEO of Vital Medical Group, while Silas Sr. is still CEO of Ethos Investment as a whole. Could that change one day? Maybe, but we'll see. So yes, just wanted to clarify that for everybody and make sure we were all on the same page for the story moving forward. But now, we should take some time to potentially adjust the audio because it's very loud in my ears. I don't know if anybody else feels that. I was like, it was a little bit like the Reaper sound in my ear. Yes, it is a little distracting me slightly before I get into my monologue. Maybe better? Yes. Okay, that's better. All right. Now we can get into it. The secrets of the Lysander family have slowly shown their ugly face. But what is it about the power of the blood, the bloodline, that makes everything that our kindred here, everything they do, every move or power play or every decision leading from their embrace, what makes that so significant? The history, it goes beyond much more of what the children of the Lysanders can even comprehend. And in these dark, uneasy nights, it has only gotten worse. Recently, there have been new revelations about their family. Many questions still unanswered, despite some answers coming in. The answers lead to more questions. And there is still uncertainty of what is to be done next. But tonight, we're going to take a view of each of the members of our coterie and see what the night has for each of them individually. And first, we will look at Dorian. Dorian, it's been a few nights now since you have become CEO of Vital Medical Group. And now, in the celebratory events that you had in these past few nights, you step into your new office at Vital, at the very top of the building. It's actually not as nice as your office back at Ethos Investment Properties. This building, it's okay, but it's not quite the luxuries and bells and whistles that you have at your parent company, literally your parent company. And nonetheless, it is a nice office. It is the biggest office at Vital. And this is the first night where you're really getting people coming to you as CEO. And it is time now for you to make some business decisions.
All right.
The marketing team, the director, James was his name, he comes in and lets you know that epexenol, the military drug that you've worked on, and took a minute to delay its launch due to the circumstances of the board vote. He comes to you and lets you know that it is now hitting the military markets, and it is actually doing exceptionally well. The drug is selling well among military. The ads that were sent out, everything is doing well. And he wants to know if you think this is something that should be pushed to be put in mainstream markets, for lack of a better term, not just in the military, but see if we can get this approved to hit the shelves at local pharmacies, at really anywhere where you can get medicine over the counter.
Can we do that? Is that...
We can try.
I feel like that doesn't seem legal. I'm sure we'd have to... Okay, yeah. I mean, if that's something we can do, fuck yeah. Like, tell me, what are the details? What do we got to do to make that happen?
I mean, right now, it's at the level of it being a pharmaceutical with you have to get a script or prescription, ask your doctor. But I think for something like this, it could do really well. Hitting that, we maybe adjust the drug a little bit, maybe make it not as strong.
Okay. All right.
So far, the side effects have been... It's been a bit of a mix.
Okay. But, I mean, people like the drug. Doesn't seem like anybody... Yeah. So, I mean, how bad are the side effects really? I saw some of the reports before. I mean... All right, a good amount of people are feeling some of the effects, but they're not that bad, right? Compared to what we're getting out of it.
When I look at some of the things that are out there, I really don't think this is anywhere to those levels.
Yeah, it's not killing anybody, right? Is it?
Look, any drug has side effects that could potentially be fatal to somebody. Allergic reactions, things that we can't really account for. So, but that's part of any clinical testing and things like that. That's why we put the talk to your doctor, make sure it's right for you, all of that, the usual. I think this could do really well. I think this could do really well to the mass consumer markets.
I mean, you don't think that maybe this could be a bit too much, right? I mean, we're going to make a lot of money off of this. There's no reason this has to be on the shelves, right?
We could be
am I crazy here? Like, do we really need... I mean, like, now that I'm, if we're thinking about this, really...
So wait.
I'm just trying to get a gut check here, right? We're not going too far with this, right?
I don't think so. The military love it.
They do. Well, maybe we should get some focus testing done on this. See what people want out of this drug. See what markets it could do well in before we pull the trigger on this. Just get some good market research done. I
think that can be arranged. I think that's a good strategy, sir.
Yeah. We'll do our due diligence. We'll make sure, everything's above board. And if the people want it, they're going to get it from someone else if they don't get it from us. Someone else is going to make something like this, right?
That's what I'm thinking, and I think we should be the first.
Okay.
This would be a great move for you and in your role.
Okay.
As CEO.
All right, yeah. Give me that research and we'll go from there.
Yes, sir, will do. And I'll also send you the reports on the latest, the quarterly reports and all of that.
Sure. Anything else?
As you say that, you do see outside of your office your CFO, Chief Financial Officer, standing out the door, looking like he's ready to meet with you.
Okay.
And James sees that and he's like, that's all for me, sir. Have a good evening.
All right.
The last thing, I know we usually work pretty late here at Vital, like 8, 9 o'clock. I usually end up leaving the office. On Friday, one of my kids has a recital, and I really wanted to see if I could leave work. Again, I know we work pretty late, but like maybe leaving by like 6 p.m. If that's okay.
Yeah, her kid's recital?
Yes, she does like this baton twirling.
Yeah, you can take off. That's fine.
Thank you, sir.
You know what? Take the day off.
The whole day?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Make sure you're there for it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. But I will get the reports in Thursday, so you won't have to worry about it Friday.
Yeah.
I'll,
All right.
do the whole, let the team know. Okay. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I appreciate it. And you see actually a grin on his face. You see the bags under his eyes. And when he smiles, it kind of lifts the bags a little bit, and he exits the room. And
I'm gonna motion to the CFO to come in as he's leaving.
He walks in. It's good to see you in the new office, sir.
It's a nice office. Good to see you. What do you got for me?
I wanted to talk about some. Well, I recently got a request that I needed to run by you. Your father, Silas Sr., requested to be copied on all of our financial reports.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay. Sure. You can go ahead and do that and send him a copy a month after they come out.
A month after.
Sure.
Understood. He also, and you can see there's a little bit of uncomfortableness in the way he's talking. He also asked me an interesting request about future acquisitions. He really wants to invest more in some local blood banks in the city. And he was thinking about like maybe we acquire a couple of them and maybe actually like franchise or do something, just get more involved. And I know we're a medical group, and I don't know, just something about it was just seemed a little off.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a list of those blood banks that he's looking at, and I will have a team look at that. We'll
Yeah.
see what's up with that. Why do you think he wants the banks?
Well, I mean, one of them is connected to Rush Medical, which I know your brother works there. So maybe he
Sure.
just wants to. I don't know if his goals are something, maybe taking Rush Medical eventually. I don't know. That could potentially be something, but
You know what? Why don't you go ahead and get the ball rolling on those acquisitions? But let's not make any final decisions yet. Just get
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 the
everything in order.
all right. Get the conversation started. See
And
if it's even something we can do.
I want you to look into those banks and just see if you can find any other connections to anything that Dad might be, Silas Senior might be interested in.
Will do, sir. And might I say, it's great to have you as CEO. I personally was not thrilled when I heard the news of Caden Bartlett potentially taking over the company, and was pleasantly surprised in the news that he gave the position to you.
Caden is full of surprises, but as always, this company will move forward on its own merits. Doesn't matter what Caden tries to do. We're gonna make sure that this venture keeps on solid footing.
I trust that you will, sir. And he gets up and exits.
Okay. Yeah.
Dorian, is there anything else you would like to do with the company as a whole? And just kind of learning some of this stuff from, your marketing department, from your finance department. Is there anything else that you were thinking of doing with Vital Medical Group?
I guess I would want to start building a narrative that since I have taken over, the direction of this company has changed drastically. Whatever we have to do to make that happen, however we have to play around with, you know, money and our accounts, I really want to paint a picture that this new direction is a clear and better path, and kind of start to sow that seed of like clearly the younger Lysander is making a positive change, and you might be wanting to hitch your horse on that wagon.
Okay. And yes, you do begin working on that narrative. And from what you've learned so far from your employees, they do have confidence in you, or at least that's what they say to your face. And they seem to welcome this change and look to you for that guidance. And that does bolster you a bit in knowing that there are people who believe in you and look to you, and you're making decisions now that aren't just decisions in one department like you were at Ethos. You're making decisions on behalf of the entire company.
If there are any particular shareholders that are known to really be in tight with Dad, I'm probably gonna start, inviting them to dinner, just talking plans, under the guise of like, hey, I'm new head of Vital. we're going in a new direction. Let me get your input. I want to hear what you have to say. And I'm just going to start building that relationship. Also sowing the seeds of like, wow, it's really going so much better now that, that I'm in charge.
Yeah. You begin that, making those relationships. You spend that time. And it does help. You watch Vital make more and more headlines with the Pexenol. You see the morale of the company go up, and you see the investors looking to you. Things seem to continue to trend upward with this new decision. The only thing that still weighs on you is, of course, your family, your wife, your kids. It's
just that.
You still haven't heard from your wife. She sends occasional messages talking about the kids. But every day, every week that you don't see them, they're at a stage where they get bigger almost every week. It's hard, but you try to focus on the company, focus on this, and you know that at some point, yes, maybe you'll make your way out to see her and see the kids and figure that out, but maybe not yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
And that is where we leave Dorian. Silas. From last you spoke with your siblings, and many of the revelations were made from your studies at the Chantry. You made note that perhaps it's time to get in good graces with Dad. The last time you saw him, you spit in his face with venom. You haven't heard from him since. And now you find yourself heading up the escalator at Ethos Investment Properties, the dreaded escalator trip that you've taken a many time. If you still could feel it, you'd feel that pit in your stomach. Because when you make it to the top floor, your father will be there. As the top floor bell dings and the doors open, you walk down the hall. You see your father reviewing papers in his office. He looks up and sees you alone. A surprised look on his face.
Hello, Father.
Son.
I see I didn't cause any permanent damage.
Something like that would not cause permanent damage, son.
I'm glad.
Are you?
I am.
Or did you want to cause permanent damage? Would that retribution make you feel better?
To scar you.
Yes, much like Caden.
No, because scarring you would bring questions, and questions I don't like having out there. Now, I've come to talk, if you'd like.
What is it that you wish to talk about?
Oh, before I talk, I'd just like to know if I'm talking to Silas Lysander, Sr., CEO and Chair of Ethos Investment, or if I'm talking to Silas Lysander, Sr., father of 5 children. Because that's really going to determine how this conversation goes.
Which would you prefer?
The latter.
You see him for a moment in the silence. His shoulders just lower a little bit. He removes one of the buttons from his suit to loosen up a bit and sits back. All right then, son.
Isn't this nice?
Would you care for a drink? And he points to his decanter.
I'm okay, thank you. I appreciate the offer. I know you're busy, so I'm not going to take much of your time, but I did feel that our last interaction warranted a conversation. To be frank, I wanted to apologize. Hence why I'm glad that my act did not leave a scar.
Apologize. It's all right, son. You merely acted out.
Yeah.
It's not the first time one of my children have acted out. Thankfully, it was among family and nobody saw. Other than Sierra, of course.
I'm sure she's seen her fair share of fighting.
I suppose I accept the apology.
Now, I'm just curious to what your plan is. Not 24 hours before the gala, you were spouting rhetoric like a Ventrue doesn't skulk in the shadows and go behind backs, they wait patiently. And yet, not 24 hours after that, you ambush us in a room with domination and blood magic. Kind of a bit of a pot calling the kettle black, isn't it, Father?
You needed to know what I am capable of.
Why?
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 Because none of you understand. None of you understand anything, really. And you think you do. And that's the problem. And if any of you were to do anything out of line, you need to be put in your place.
But why treat... Not you. You embraced Dorian. But you organized, essentially, hits on all of us. Now, it could have been easy, and you could have made us all Ventrue, and Jacques could have made us a few Nas, and you could have had us by our coattails. But you made the decision to put us each in our own clan. And then you treat us like we're 14 again, and fuck, Dad.
Because you are. You're fledglings. You're children. You don't know anything about this life you're in. And you act like 14-year-olds. You act like you can just walk anywhere, stroll in anywhere, and do anything, and you don't respect the laws that have been made for us by the Camarilla.
I do. But if you would just lay off a little bit, like, I feel like I'm 14 again. I feel like I'm 14 and I'm helping Dorian with his algebra homework. I feel like I'm reading Dr. fucking Seuss to Willow to put her to bed because you weren't here again, because those two are running fucking wild. Because every time you put your foot on their heads, they react. You want to know why they are acting out? Look at yourself. I want you to really take a second. And I didn't come here to fight. I really didn't. Because I want this family to succeed. I like being a Lysander. I truly do. But it's getting to the point where you're doing more harm than good. I hope you realize that.
What do you want me to do, son? What do you want me to do? Play the part of a loving father that I never was? You don't get it. This isn't a game of hearts. This is war.
What
Silas?
War between your children and you?
No. Between us and them. And you need to learn.
Who is them? Who is them?
Everybody, Silas. Think about Bartlett. Think about the Lupine. Think about every person you've met and what their agenda is. I know your Tremere have it too.
Of course, everyone does, sure. But then why? Why put us in different clans? You know the draw that we have to our sires. And yet you expect us to bow at your beck and call. You know it is difficult. I want you, I understand. I do. I understand the hardships that you had to go through. And just, I'm not watering down the fact that we are fledglings, but you haven't been embraced as long, I would say, as long as the majority of the Camarilla. You were our father at one point.
Neither has Prince Kevin Jackson.
And that's fine. And look what he's done. But Prince Kevin Jackson, I bet, doesn't step on his children or child. I don't even know if he has childer, whatever the fucking terminology is. But what I'm trying to say is, and I mean this out of sincerity, Dad. Things are bad. Things are very, very bad. And I don't know if I can protect you. I don't know if anybody can protect you for what's going on out there.
My son telling me, thinks he knows that I need protection. This is rich, boy. Truly rich. Have the Tremere really stuck themselves so far up your ass to think that you know everything? Has that Sturbridge taught you that you are better than everybody else? The superiority complex that you usurpers have?
I mean, they've been a better parental figure to me in the last year than you ever have been. But I'm trying to fix that.
All right, boy.
You speak that you need protection, yet you fear a invisible war. You act like you have an army at your side. Look, I don't know much about Marcus and Lucas, but I don't think they can hold their own against some of the shit I've seen out there.
Then what is it, son? You've come here to tell me all of the things I should be worried about, I should be doing. What is it that you would like me to do, boy? Tell me, what's your prescription?
Ooh. That's a good one, Father. I'd like you to lay off Dorian, Willow, Val. Give us some space. It will do you well in the long run. Look, do you want us on your side? Do you want us to be your children, or do you want us to be your enemy? What is it you want?
It doesn't matter what I want. Because you will be on my side regardless. You always need me. And that's... It doesn't matter if you love or hate me. You will always need me.
Then how can I help you? If I need you, how can I help you? I made a Pexenol in record time. Sure, Dorian has controls of Vital. It's fucking vital. You're still CEO of Ethos. You asked nicely for something that would win over the board, and I did my job. I did it because you know what you did? You asked nicely. You asked like a father would ask something of their son. And I did that. I was there when you weren't. And I never questioned it. I never asked for favors. I did what I was supposed to do. So please, before Willow runs off to the Anarchs and Dorian conspires again, how can I help you? I mean that sincerely. If you don't want my help, please say so I can go on my merry way. And then when you're down in the dirt, I don't have to say, I told you so.
Fine. You would like me to lay off your brother and sisters. You would like me to take a step back and give you your space.
Yes.
Should I ask you to say please the way you asked me?
No. Because really, I don't give a shit. You can bully me all you want. I'm not here for you to lay off me. I'm here for you to lay off them. You want to bully me around. You want to attempt to use blood sorcery against myself. I'm glad you remember who my sire is, Father. Whose blood runs in these veins.
What else do you want, Silas? I don't know what you can do to help.
I want to raise this family up on the pillar that it should be on. But honestly, the last 9 months, year, fuck, time moves really slowly when you're a kindred. You've been doing nothing but chipping away that pillar. I just want you to realize that.
Well, with your brother now the head of one of our companies.
Which you're still in charge of. Don't let his victory get to your head.
I'm not. I'm just saying that this is a great opportunity for all of you. Take the time to do what you need to do for yourselves. I will stay out of it, and I wish you support. No, I do not wish to fracture our relationships more than they are already fractured.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
It's not easy.
I know.
It's never been easy.
I believe you.
Somebody has to play the role of the bad guy. I'd rather it be me than my children.
You know, it's very sacrificial of you. Why do you have to be the bad guy? I mean, Silas, Lysander, whatever the other fat fuck Ventrue were at the Elysium, I forget their names.
Ballard,
yes. Sovereign, yes.
Because that's the only way to get what you want. Among those, Bartlett, Ballard, Sovereign, Jackson. You have to be cutthroat, or you will get chewed alive. If your hands are clean, it's only because wherever you are does nice manicures. That's just how it is.
Well, I thank you for this time. I know you're busy, and like I said, I value being a Lysander. You know, some days... Look, I know we share the name. And some days it bites me in the ass, but I look at what you've built, and I don't squander it. I just hope you know that.
I understand.
And I thank you for laying off for the time being. I'm sure they'll be happy, and Willow especially. I worry about her.
As do I. Last thing, Silas.
What is it?
You still feeding from those bags?
Yes.
I think it's time you learn to stop and feed from people, from kine.
Why?
You can't live like that forever.
I keep hearing this. I've been told. I've done research on other people who fed from external sources. They have years. I have time.
It's best to start early. Don't make me cut off your supply.
Thank you for the threat. I appreciate it.
Like I said, you will always need me. But I will lay off.
I'm sure everyone will appreciate it. Just give us some time. Let us make a name for ourselves. Without the fear of you doing whatever you have planned.
You see your father not making eye contact with you anymore. He looks out the windows to the right of him, overlooking the city. He doesn't say anything else.
Do you miss Mom?
Every night.
I miss her too. But she broke the law.
She did. And it hurts to know that she did. I'm glad that you respect that, son.
Yeah. But I know you're busy. I won't take any more of your time. If you need anything, you know how to get a hold of me.
He nods.
Good night, Dad.
Good night, Silas. And you exit. Silas, as you leave with this conversation you just had with your father, frustrating as always, what is going through your mind?
He feels a sense of like powerfulness because he got through to his dad, but also a feeling of relief because he does fear for the things that Dorian and Willow are planning. He doesn't agree with them. He fears for Willow being in the clutches of an anarch and them potentially organizing a hit on their father. He was very truthful in that conversation. So he hopes that our dad backing off will, and being able for them to do their own thing, whether it's going to change anything or not. It probably won't. He knows it probably won't, but he wouldn't be able to live with himself if he didn't do this. And he just has a feeling, of he needs to be the big brother in this situation because he sees that his younger siblings are hurting. But also there's a sense of kind of relief because Silas needs more information, and that comes with also that he thinks he got through to his father. This was a two-sided coin. He wanted to protect his brother and sisters, and he needed his dad to trust him more. And I think he succeeded in any way that he could have.
Trust, though, one elephant in the room that perhaps maybe he knew you knew, or maybe he didn't. Though he kept hinting, and in a way you pried at it a bit. Protecting you all. Being the bad guy. For what? Silas, you know it likely has to do with the information you learned. However, your father did not openly talk or speak of it to you.
Correct.
So whatever headway you made into some sort of reconciliation. Still not at that level where he can delve that information to you. Something else you might think about.
Mm-hmm. Baby steps.
And that is where we leave Silas Lysander Jr. And we look at Willow. Willow, in a similar vein to her eldest brother, has many thoughts on her mind. And the one thing she has not done in much time is talk to her father. And perhaps even in the same night, like ships in the night passing, as Silas exits, Willow, you enter. You know where your father is most nights. You know if you want to reach out to him. You go to Ethos Investment Properties. And you too take the dreaded elevator ride up to the top floor, knowing you too have questions, want answers, want to speak to him. So you make your way up the elevator, and as it dings, you head down the hallway. You see your father with a drink in his hand, standing next to the decanter to the side of his desk, looking out the window. He doesn't catch you immediately as you walk in, but the sound of the door opening, he turns around and looks, and similarly, a surprised face.
I know I don't come up here that often, but you don't have to look that surprised. Is it a bad time?
No, I was just thinking.
Oh, well, I don't want to interrupt your thinking time, if...
No, it's quite all right. Willow, have a seat.
Okay. And she will walk in and sit. What were you thinking about? Maybe we could think about it together.
I was thinking about your mother.
Oh. I think about her a lot, too. What about?
Whenever I look at a window, I think about that night when we had your mother to a window.
You mean when Jacques killed her?
Yes.
You don't, do you think about it because you regret it?
I regret letting things get to that point. The things your mother did. I knew she was concerned for the family. It hurts to know she had to go to the levels she did. That's what I regret.
Right. So you'd do it again? Knowing what you know now?
I wouldn't want to do it again. It's not a matter of doing it again. I would stop her from even starting.
Because you love her.
Yes.
Do you still?
I do.
Silas told me about at the gala that there was this other woman there that I didn't meet. She's not, you know.
Everything between us that you may see publicly, it's all an act, a ruse. It's for show.
Whose show?
For the Camarilla. And for business. Sierra actually has her own ties in many companies in Chicago, but she is also kindred. She is Clan Lysander.
I heard.
And the Lysander and Ventrue do not have a good history. So showing an alliance between us in a more intimate matter will show to the city that we are making progress.
Huh. And you want to do this why?
Because, well, for one, Prince Jackson is trying to do a better show of welcoming Lysander into the Camarilla. So this looks good for him. And for the other reason, Sierra is not happy with our family.
Why not?
Because one of the kindred that your mother diablerized was her sire, whom she was very close with.
So we're doing this so they aren't upset with us?
Yes, we're making a better alliance with the Lysander so that they can look good. And that I can make up for the mistakes of our family.
Why do we need to make up for them when Mother's already dead? Isn't that payment enough?
Not for a Lysander.
Well, then maybe we shouldn't be allying with them. Maybe they shouldn't have been let into the Camarilla in the first place.
You're not the only one to have those questions. But it is not my place. I'm not even on the Primogen Council.
But what if you were?
That would be nice.
Well, how do you do that?
It's a little difficult because our prince is Ventrue. So generally, representation of Primogen is not the same representation of the prince, aka there usually isn't a Ventrue Primogen.
So you could be prince then, Dad.
It's not always about being prince, in my mind.
Then what is it about? Isn't that the top spot, right? Isn't that what we should want?
It's about who has the most power. And yes, the prince, in a figurehead sense, can have the most power. But not always.
You say that like somebody who has a card up their sleeve. Or a few.
Perhaps I do.
I know you don't really talk the business stuff with me. It's more Dorian's thing. And Silas's, since he's the oldest, and that's fine. I I guess I came up here because I'm not really sure what you want me to do. You never really ask me to do anything, but I also kind of feel like I'm not allowed to do my own thing. So I kind of just end up feeling useless a lot of the time.
What I want you to do I want you to learn what it's like to be a kindred. So far, you've been doing that. You had your first job from Jackson.
Mhm.
You reported it back.
Mhm.
But there is still much to learn.
Like what? I feel like I've done everything that you would need to do. I've learned how to use the things that I'm best at. I've killed a person.
You killed a person?
Oh, right. No. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I have.
When did this happen?
Oh, a long time ago. Jacques took care of it.
See your father kind of like calculate in his head for a moment when you say that? Willow.
You've killed a person?
I know you feel like you have it all figured out. You sound like your brother.
Which one?
In some ways, both. But your eldest brother came to me, talking like he knew all of the answers. You give your kindred several months on their own in the nights, and they come to you thinking that they have all the answers. They know more than their father. Is that what you think, Willow? Because you have had your experiences so far that you know everything. You know better than me.
No, I don't think I know better than anyone. I just don't really have anybody to teach me that stuff. So I'm kind of figuring it out myself.
Perhaps then you should meet some other kindred. Maybe not ones of the Anarch variety.
Well, everyone in the Camarilla doesn't like me.
Have you spoken to anybody in the Camarilla besides your siblings?
Yeah, I tried to talk to some Toreadors, but they made fun of me and said I was a freak. And, then I tried to talk to my sire, but then they, slammed my head into a ritual table and, used their powers on me, I think, and took Machiavelli, and, so that didn't really go well. So now I, kind of avoid, other kindred. I don't really have a great track record.
I don't know what it is you want me to do to help you, Willow. You came to Dorian's event with an Anarch at your side.
Yeah.
Was that actually genuine, or was it just a way to spark something in your father?
No, he's just the only person who's actually been nice to me. So, it was genuine.
I'm sure there are plenty others who would be nice to you. Why don't you spend more time with your sister now that she's in town? Maybe she can treat you to meet some other kindred that aren't just petty Toreador.
Is that what you want?
Yes, I would like you to be social and make friends and meet other people. The Anarchs are only nice to you because they want something from you.
But isn't that how it is in the Camarilla, too? Isn't that all of our lives? Isn't that how it's been our whole lives because of the name that we have?
Would you rather it be with people who you can respect? Or would you rather it be with lowlives who can barely make any headway in this city? They're so desperate that they will cling on to anybody that comes to their door to try to get them to join their movement when there's probably only 12 of them that actually do anything.
Well, the lowlives have treated me with more respect than most. And they're certainly not converting me. You know, or I could hang out with our prince who respects us so deeply. After all, he's the one who sent Alexa after me.
And why is it that he sent Alexa after you, Willow?
Because I found out something he didn't want us to know. Because he's hiding things from you, from all of us.
He's the prince. That is to be expected.
I think he's scheming against us, but if you don't believe me, that's fine.
Look, Willow, I know it's hard, and you're trying to find your place. You've always been the one who had difficulties finding their place. You were always while your brothers knew exactly what they wanted to do, and your sister, you went through different phases. Maybe this is just another phase.
Right. Okay. Sure. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. I have eternity now, right?
You do. And there is still much to learn.
Cool.
You don't have it all figured out, despite what you think, and despite what your brother thinks.
Well, maybe we can hire a new sire or something.
There is things called Malwas. They are like surrogate sires. I encourage you, if you find somebody within the Camarilla who you feel a connection with, perhaps they could be a mentor.
Right. Right. You know, I was kind of hoping that you would offer, but it's cool. We do always pay other people to do our work, right? Okay.
I think maybe it's best I give you the space to do what you need to do for yourself.
Hasn't that been always the case?
Indeed it has. As a matter of fact, I wanted to give you the space to do what you needed to do for your first job, and I did. Your uncle, of course, wanted to meddle in everything. And I'm continuing to give you your space.
Okay.
That doesn't seem like something you want, Willow. You want me to be more present? You want me looking over your shoulder? You want me telling you, maybe you shouldn't be taking the helicopter over to the Anarchs.
No, you're right. You're right. The space is good. What are you gonna do with Caden?
What am I going to do with Caden? I don't think Caden's going to be doing much for a while. But I will be keeping an eye on him, as I'm sure he's continuing to keep an eye on our family.
And just so I get this right, all you want me to do is go make friends in the Camarilla. That's it. Nothing else? People are talking about war, and you want me to go make friends, right? I'm getting everything correct?
You make this seem like... What are you trying to get at here, Willow? I'm really trying to understand here. You're talking like it's such a meager thing.
It does seem like a waste, doesn't it?
What is it that you would like to do then? Would you like to get your own company and begin running it like Dorian? Would you like to run a club? Would you like to work here at Ethos Investment? Is that what you want? And when I say friends, Willow, I don't mean people that you go out to have coffee with. I mean allies, alliances for our family. Yes, you're a Malkavian. You have unique gifts. Perhaps you can meet the Primogen, the Malkavian Primogen. Make alliances with him. I heard he's a real charmer.
Okay. No, just want to make sure I'm being useful to the family. That's all.
If you were being useful to the family, Willow, you would stop seeing the Anarchs. I don't... It's hard to believe you when you say you want to do things for this family.
Really? You don't believe me?
Why should I?
Why shouldn't you? Never exactly been one to act out. I mean, I know I tend to go a little bit against what everyone else does, but I'm no troublemaker.
Like I said, you being seen with Anarchs is not exactly a good look for the family.
So it actively harms what we're trying to do.
Yes, it does, actually.
I suppose I should stop.
If that's what you came here to do, you came here, you sat at my desk, or at my chair in my office. You didn't sit at my desk. If that's what you came here to do, to see what you can do to help the family, and I'm telling you,
yeah,
then that's all there is to it, Willow.
of course. Is he close to me?
Yes. And, well, close as in, like, touching distance? No.
I'd like to hug him.
All right. He's actually going to roll something really quick. So
I would like to
when
too.
you were, he just asked you, like, that's all you came for, and you said yes. Were you being genuine?
Yes. She did want to know how she could be useful to the family. I will say as the why she wants to know that maybe is not in line with what he would think, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'm just gonna have him roll something really quick. Oh, fuck, this makes me I'm having the same issue where Demiplane's like, log in. One moment. Okay. 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 So you go to hug him, yes?
Yes. I do. Not too uncommon. I've hugged him before.
Okay.
Arguably more than any other sibling has. If I had to guess, since she's baby.
You go to hug him.
I have a bad feeling about this.
And I'm going to just roll a rouse check. I'm just trying to see if you have to roll anything against this.
I don't. I'm feeling threatened, everyone.
One moment. Okay. Sorry. Is there anything you are looking to do here, Willow, upon giving him a hug?
Yes,
okay.
I'm gonna use premonition.
Okay.
One thing about me, I'm gonna use that premonition, baby.
As you do, I would like you to just roll me.
I'm
scared. My God. Why don't I see it? Sorry, guys. Oh, okay, because it's under mesmerize. I see.
Chris, may I please have a morsel of music?
Yes, you can. Sorry, Chris. Test. I can still hear myself, but maybe it's a me problem. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why, for some reason, chat, I keep hearing myself in the feed, and it's driving me wild. Okay, roll me an intelligence and resolve. Willow.
Gotcha. Oh, my pull's not too bad for that. Okay, good. A roll. Oh no. I'm gonna use some willpower, I think.
Okay.
I don't know why I have all these checked off on my willpower though. Willpower resets every day, does it not?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah, but you can only roll as many as you have, correct? Or I mean, as many die as you have for that pool?
Say that again.
How many can you use at a time?
You can do up to 3
Okay.
to reroll.
All right. Let me do that then. Successes 1.
Okay. As you go in to give your father a hug, he says, he lifts a finger.
I'm nervous.
One moment, Willow. Stop right there. And you feel compelled to stop.
She'll stop.
You just told me about what you did to Jackson. I know what you did.
Yeah.
I got a personal visit from the Hound after what happened and I was told exactly what happened. Don't think you can do that on me as well.
Why? Are you scared? What could you be hiding that your daughter can't know?
I will not have you prying into my mind, Willow.
Why not?
I want you to turn around and leave this office. We are done.
I assume I'm compelled to do so, yes.
And you are.
Okay, she'll leave. Rats. Almost! We'll get them next time, boys.
He slams the door as you exit. You hear it echo down the hall. Willow, similar to your brother, as you make your way down this hall, how do you feel after this discussion with your father?
She wanted to give him one more chance. Because he's her dad, and she wants to love him, and she wants to actually be useful, but he pretty much... He said exactly what she thought he would say. Basically, sit around, do nothing, because you're of no use to me. You've never been of any use to me ever in your life. Everything you do, essentially, you're not as good as your siblings. You never have been, you never will be. Just go make some friends, you freak. We
love Willow.
So she feels... She was hoping there would be some sliver of a heart left in him. There was no regret for Mother. He didn't share any of the information she knows he has. She gave him every chance, and every single time he proved her right. And, yeah, she's pretty set on her decision now. He doesn't serve her anymore, and he certainly doesn't serve the family, so he might as well be dead. So she walks out thinking, all right, time to order that hit, I think. Why not? He said I could do whatever I want, and I will.
And that is where we leave Willow. And then we cut to a different scene. A scene at a club. The neon lights of the Succubus Club, where we see a 2-story club, and on the second floor, a row of private booths. But at the end, a balcony to the outdoors, where we see Val lighting a cigarette, her blush of life, giving her the opportunity to indulge in one of the vices that she had in her previous life. And she stands with her sire, Annabelle. Annabelle with her shoulder-length ash blonde hair and her wide blue eyes. She shares a cigarette with you on the balcony. And she looks to you. My child, Val. I'm looking to open a a new section of the club to liaison with some other clans. And I think you might be the person to help me with this.
Oh?
You come from wealth. Your family is well known. There's somebody else, not a Ventrue, thankfully. They also come from old money in Chicago. And I would like her to have a bit more of a presence here. Her name is Thea. And she is of clan ministry. They are a bit of a interesting clan within the Camarilla, as they don't really tend to align with the Camarilla. But there are a few within the city that have been welcomed, and she is one of them. But she's a bit of a party girl. She has her own club that is a bit more on the fetish side. It's fun. It's a fun club.
And she's not a Toreador.
Surprisingly not, and as a matter of fact, many people do ask about that. But ministry, they're full of their own debauchery in some ways. I would like her to have a space here to liaison with other members of her clan and other members of the Camarilla. Perhaps you can make that space for her and get to know her a bit more.
Sure, she sounds like fun. What's the new area you said, or the new section of the club? Is it anything more specific, or just like a VIP lounge?
We do have a VIP lounge, and the issue is I do have limited space here at the Succubus Club, and we had previously given a space for one of the Primogen members, the Malkavian Primogen. His name is Sun, and he's very nice, but he doesn't really show up here anymore. He doesn't really use the space. So I kind of want to very cordially re-renovate his space here at the Succubus Club. Maybe you can be the one to break that news.
Oh. To him?
Yes. He is a Primogen, and I know you are still a young fledgling, but you can tell him this is on behalf of your sire, Annabelle, and I'm sure he will understand.
Yeah, of course. Anything for you, Annabelle, but how, not that I only need to do things that do this, but how does this help me, just to make connections? To network?
Oh, to be so honest, Val, it doesn't really help you all that much. It really just helps me.
Right. Okay. I can respect that. I guess I'm just kind of wondering at this point. I don't know. This sounds interesting. I just am not really sure what else I'm supposed to do with eternal life as a beautiful person that has powers that I kind of already had before. I mean, money really does the same thing, but I'll use my charms, I guess.
I know. It's hard. And it's going to be hard. The first 10 years or so, it is very hard. I can't even remember my first 10 years. Oh my gosh. It was so many years ago.
Well, what makes it better then?
What makes it better?
You don't get tired of this? Ever?
No. No, I don't. But Val,
Okay.
you will one day maybe have things like this too. Your own club to run. Your own place. And I know it's hard. You've been away and you're coming back, and maybe you'll feel like an outsider for a while. But no matter where you travel, no matter where you go, whatever your family sends you to do, you will always have a place here. If your family eats you alive and spits you out just as quickly as any other, you can come here.
They could try. But thank you. I like being around you and the rest of our clan. It's nice to feel the same as the people around me. What do you really think of my father? You can tell me.
Your father. You know, I was actually closer to your uncle, if you believe it or not.
Interesting pair.
Yes. What do I think about Silas Lysander Sr.? I think he has better ambitions than many of the other Ventrue that I've met. But I do know he carries a lot of weight and power with his name.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are interested in that.
Sure, it's been a great help to me my whole life. Like I said, beauty is bought just like everything else.
It can be, but one thing that we can see more than anybody else is we can see true beauty. And don't let anybody ever tell you that that is not important. Because if they do, then they will lose everything one day. I've seen it happen to many kindred. I've seen it happen to many elders. They forget who they are, and they lose themselves.
No, you're right. I mean, what is the point of all this if it's not to see beauty? Like, what else is there, really?
I think you and your family, I have hope for you. I know it can be messy, and I've seen the way Ventrue work. I just want to reiterate that you don't have to be afraid of them.
I'm not. Thank you.
Of course. I'm glad that I get to have this time with you, as I do have other childer, but they're not in the city. So it's nice to spend time with at least one of them.
Happy to come by the club anytime. I already feel a little more at home here, and that's someone who's been to a lot of clubs. I mean, not as many as you, obviously, but a lot of clubs for someone my age.
You know, this club in particular is one of the most prestigious clubs in all of Chicago for kindred. The Succubus Club has been around for many, many years in the city. Unfortunately, the original club was destroyed. It was actually destroyed by Lupine in the War of Chicago.
Oh.
And it was rather messy, and a lot of kindred died. And then I came and rebuilt it. This place, it serves as a place for Elysium. It serves as a place for Jackson to have meetings when he doesn't want to hold them at the Ivory Tower. It serves as a place for many kindred to feed. It has very high security. And it is very important to the Camarilla. So if you stick around and continue to work here, having your name associated with this club could be very great for your family as well.
Yeah. Listen, I can do messy. Sometimes it's more fun anyways.
Sometimes, but not too messy.
No. I mean, I can handle it.
Good. I know you can. Now, perhaps one of these nights you can invite your siblings to the club.
Oh. Yeah?
You seem a little unsure about that.
I think I'd love to go dancing with Willow. She's so much fun. I mean, doing anything with my baby sister is, but I mean, Dorian is really fun at the club. Maybe like too much fun. Silas is like, he's more of a lurker, you know. It's just an interesting crew to bring to a club. I'll say that.
We have all sorts of kindred come to this club. I know what it's like for the lurkers. I see the Nos walk through the shadows. I see the other Malkavians and their quirky antics. I think it's fine, and I think it would be lovely to invite them.
All right. I'll see if I can convince them. That will be another battle, I guess.
She takes the last drag of the cigarette that she's had and puts it on the ashtray and looks at you. Well then, I'm sure the next few nights you might be busy getting things settled for our new guest, our new ministry guest. Let me know if there's anything you need from me.
Yeah? How about a dance?
I would be elated. And she extends her hand.
I'll take it. Follow her to the dance floor.
And the
So
two of
dance to
you,
this cool music.
the two of you head in to the lower level, the balconies overlooking the dance floor, with kindred and kine alike mingling within this very electric dance floor. You dance with her. You see fellow kindred. You see the fellow kine. You feel the atmosphere of this club, and it is unlike any other place you've ever been. There is something about it that just rings. I just want to stay here. I want to be here. I don't want to leave. And that is where we leave Val. Our four kindred, Dorian, Willow, Val, and Silas, they all have learned different things about themselves, about the people they're close to, trying to better understand what exactly is their purpose. And the answers still haven't really come yet. Perhaps it really is only a matter of them figuring it out for themselves. The people they thought they could look to for help They are not here to help them. And Dorian, you think about the things that you'll be doing in the coming nights with your company. You think about the words you last spoke with your father. You think about all the things that you've had to endure for family for all of these years and for all of these months as a kindred. You walk out to a small park not far from your family home on Gold Coast. The park it's a private park that your family owns. It's not very large. But there is one thing that you like to visit here. A gravesite for your mother. Now, of course, there's no body, there's no anything there. It's more of a figurative gravesite. You walk up to it. You look and you see Anna Lysander, the date of her birth and the date of her death. You look at it and you think about that night. You think about the night she died, and you think to the night prior to that, and you look beyond her grave. You see the lake before you. The things that your mother told you on the lake. A stark reminder. This view of the grave also has the view of that lake.
And Dorian would think about what his mother wanted for her kids and how she tried to protect her family. And he's going to think to himself that he is going to do better than she did. Not out of any anger, just out of love, out of commitment to the same ideals.
And we see Dorian continue looking out onto the lake. And our camera gently fades. And we will take a break. Audience, we will be back in about 10 minutes as we take a quick break. So everybody get yourselves drinks, get yourself snacks, get yourself your cats, and get ready for the second half of Ancestral Blood, as we will be back in just a little bit. Thanks everybody for joining us so far. And we also have a surprise for the second half. It'll be right at the beginning, so don't worry. I won't keep you in too much more. I won't keep you in too much more suspense. But stay for the 10 minutes so you can see the surprise. We'll stay for the rest of the episode. We'll be right back.
Bye.
BRB. Welcome back, everybody. We return for our second half of episode 11 of Ancestral Blood. And where we return many months later. 3 months, to be exact. It's been 3 months since the events of what we previously saw of Willow and Silas talking to their father, to Dorian, making decisions for the future of Vital Medical Group, and for Val, making connections within the club of her sire. And in these 3 months, your own personal goals have progressed. It's not a lot of time. As we always say, 3 months for kindred is nothing. But at this point in time, you have all been kindred for over a year. Each of your birthdays have passed. You've celebrated a birthday, and it's your first birthday where you haven't aged. Many holidays, events, the things that you normally would celebrate and think, where has the time gone? It's all different now. 1 year as kindred. With hopefully many more years to come. Now, in these 3 months, Dorian, your work with Vital Medical Group has been successful. The goals and which you had spoken of, wanting to become closer with members of the board, making progress with those who were close to your father and getting in their good graces, that has all been doing well. The progress of getting apexanol into more consumer markets has been slow, a slower process maybe than you had expected. Usually things move with exponential speed. But it's been slow, but they're making the progress. It's not quite there yet. And similarly, the requests you put out for the company and beginning the talks of acquisitions for some of these blood banks your father has requested, that also has transpired. And those talks of acquisition have been started, but nothing has been signed. No deals have been made. All of that is there. Willow, you have distanced yourself from your father, from your family, and you still see your siblings from time to time. But for the most part, you've spent the last 3 months isolated. You haven't taken your father's quote-unquote advice to make friends within the Camarilla. You've done things for yourself, talk to yourself, and Machiavelli. Silas, you similarly have spent your own time in isolation, working at the Chantry, working at Rush Medical, continuing to work on new spells. The conversations with you had with your father didn't instill much confidence. And you know that the only way to move forward is to get more knowledge. So you begin working on new spells, some beyond what your lab partner has experimented on, and you and Simone perfecting the Silencio Noctis. But there are other spells you have been working on, and you're near perfecting them. Things that not many other in the Chantry have worked on. And Val, it's weird being in Chicago for more than a few weeks. Sometimes you wonder, should I stay here? Should I go back? Should I go back to doing what I did? But you remember that it was your family that set you up. It's been hard trying to find your place, but you heed your sire's words, and that there is one place that you at least feel like you can make a home. That is the club, the Succubus Club. And you've met many kindred. You've met Thea, the ministry. You've set everything up for your sire as she requested. It was a moving sun. The Primogen, Malkavian Primogen, was not the easiest, but you used your words and your charms to at least get things moving. And you've built a bit of a reputation for yourself in a good way as somebody who works at this club. This time of you all spending time on yourselves in different ways, it's helped you better learn who you want to be in the future nights as kindred. And with that comes other changes. We see each of our kindred looking a little different. The nights have changed them, have hardened them, have made them look at things differently. And because of that, we have updated the character art. And so at this time, Chris, if you would like to show how our coterie looks now.
Oh my god!
Things have changed for the Lysanders. They are no longer the fresh fledglings that they were a year ago, from their initial embrace, from those nights that they had to face the darkest of darkness and fight the beasts within inside of them. Now, a little bit more of the beast shows in all of them. And they look pretty damn cool, if you ask me.
gotta break the immersion for a second.
Gotta break the immersion for a moment.
For a moment, we gotta ooh-goo over the art as we do over here.
To shout out the amazing Crisby, who, as you all know, or maybe you don't know, Crisby has done all of our character art for Ancestral Blood, and he's amazing, first of all, and he actually kind of has developed a bit of a new style, and so we asked if he could update the art, the previous art of Willow, Dorian, and Silas specifically to kind of reflect that newer style. And he did, and did amazingly. So they look so much more menacing and scary, and I actually love it. They are a different kindred than they once were.
It's much more in line with the Val art, because that was the most recent updated one. Yeah.
Yes. We didn't match the Val art, so now we all match that new style.
Yes. That was the initial, drive to update the art. And I think thematically it also really fits. So I'm quite happy. So I want to shout out Crisby. I know we have a command for him in chat, and I don't remember what it is. But if anybody has his socials handy, would be great to shout him out because he has been awesome in doing all of our art, including like Caden and Adder and Silas Senior as well. They're all quite amazing. So thank you, Crispy, for the new art. But in these months later, the Lysanders meet up once again for a sibling reunion. Not that you all haven't spoken to each other in these months, but sometimes the nights just take you to doing your own thing. And that has been kind of how it has been in these last few months. You know how it is. It can get like this really in real life too, where it's just like, sorry, I've been busy and you haven't had time to catch up. And you all receive an invitation from your sister, Val, to check out the Succubus Club. You've heard things about it. You've heard mentions of it many a time now, but you all haven't been there for yourselves. So you make your way to this club deep, right in the middle of the Mag Mile in Chicago. It's a very busy club of kindred and kine alike. And you all are able to enter without any sort of complication. And as you enter, you see the same sights that we saw earlier. A vast floor for clubbing, for mingling, for dancing, and an upper lounge in the entire back of the club that overlooks the floor beneath. You see a bulletproof glass cutting out the noise. And when you look up to that balcony above, you do see what look like kindred mingling behind the glass, looking down at those below. You see Annabelle arranged for a large chandelier to light the room in a newly built circular bar attended by 2 bartenders, pouring drinks into these beautiful crystal glasses. You see various people dancing in different areas of the floor, and the club is rather large. It's enough to get yourself lost for just a moment. You take in the sights, the smells, the beauty of this place. And it really is unlike anything you've seen. You've seen some pretty upper scale, like upper highfalutin places that you've been to. But this just brings a sense of what it's like to be a kindred. If you were to think about the essence of the nights that you're in, being among this crowd, it invigorates you in some ways. The 3 of you come maybe at different times, but eventually find each other, and you see your sister Val. She is standing on the upper level in those balconies behind that glass. You make your way up. They let you in, and you head to the upper floor looking down at everybody. And the 4 of you are together once again.
I would like to give everyone a hug as they arrive.
I will hug
Finally.
back.
I can't believe I got all 4 of us in the same place.
Why does it always
we're
have to
surprised.
Why does it always have to be clubs? Why can't we meet at like a nice, I don't know,
hospital?
library? Yes, library.
Blood bank.
Someone had to organize this get together, and since you didn't do it, I chose the place. Plus, I've been here a lot lately, and I wanted to show you guys.
It's great. I'm always down for a club.
Yeah. This is one of the nicer ones, too.
Music here is fantastic.
So are the drinks. And she'll like wink at you. What
Yeah,
kind of
I
drink
should
does
get one
she
of those.
need?
Are we hungry?
Yeah, which kind did you want? I believe from my research that we have blood dolls at this club. Is that right?
You do, actually. There are blood dolls available, and if you choose to partake, they are available for you. Of various variety, of course.
Nice and easy. And a little more subtle than maybe our last bar trip.
Sure. Have we been to a kindred bar before like this? Where
Have you been to a kindred bar? I don't think you all have. You've mostly spent your time at kind-run bars.
Yeah. Okay.
So everyone here is like us?
Yes, they are, right?
There is a mix. There's also kind. You probably get the idea that maybe some of them are connected to kindred in some ways, like maybe they're retainers, things like that. But yeah, there are not just kindred here.
I see.
Yeah. Oh, we've got both. You just gotta know someone.
Okay, and you can just order drinks to the table here? Is that how that works?
Is that how it works? Do we order a blood doll for the table?
You can, yes.
Blood doll for the table, please.
Yeah. You can just here. I'll like flag down a server.
Yes, you do.
I don't know. Do they serve the blood doll?
You do. You flag
Blood doll
down.
server?
You flag down somebody who, yes, actually, they some of the servers are also blood dolls. But
Okay.
they approach and she asks, "Oh, Val, and the siblings, is there anything I can get for all of you?"
Yeah, my brother is thirsty. And she'll
Ah.
gesture to Dorian.
Just you or anybody else? It's on the house, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm full. Thanks, though.
Do you
I'd like
have
something a little stronger with a kick.
I see. Okay.
He's a wild one. Watch out for that.
I like a drink. It's fine.
Do you have
one?
anything already extracted?
We do, as a matter of fact.
I will take whatever you have.
That can be arranged.
Willow, anything for you?
You're muted.
I see. I'm good.
Okay.
All
That's
right
it
then. She leaves, and the four of you remain.
So, what's new? Don't all speak at once.
Jeez.
This is the energy, isn't it?
Right? Oh my gosh. Did I set the mood too dark for you all?
Listen to that club music.
I know.
For real.
Well, I've just
World
been
of Darkness.
just been working at the Chantry, researching, learning new things, some fun things, and just trying to better myself.
Fun.
And are you better now?
Much better.
It's good.
And do you enjoy this research?
Greatly.
Good. Dorian, what about you?
Oh, same old. Just running shit, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that's why you need that drink.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure at the top.
How are the
Willow,
kids?
They're doing good. They're doing real good.
Good.
And Willow, I love the makeup. What have you been up to? Made any new art or anything? Or been hanging out with that guy?
No, I don't really hang out with them anymore.
Really?
Do you need me to fight someone for you?
Is that not his jacket on your shoulders? I didn't know if I needed to roll like a perception check or anything like that to figure that one out. But
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't need to
huge
roll.
leather jacket that she's wearing.
No wits insight for that one.
No
wits awareness.
Yeah.
I you know, I just don't. It doesn't. Just don't see him much anymore. You know, he's busy, but that's okay.
Do you want to?
No. I'm working on my own stuff. Like, got this art gallery recently, actually.
Oh my gosh!
Really?
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Oh,
Kind of hard to showcase art at night, but I'm thinking that could be its own niche, you know? Like exclusive, only once a night in the wee hours.
Ooh, yes, like a what's the word? Like a pop-up, a very
Yeah.
short-lived pop-up.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
We've got some
So is this-
connections here we can invite for you.
Is this going to be your art, or are you featuring other artists?
I'd like to feature other people as well, but I guess that would require me to find other people, right?
I mean, you tell me the date, I'd be there.
No, I mean like other artists,
You're
Silas.
not an artist, Silas.
Unless
Oh, sorry, I meant.
unless you're suddenly making like, you know, medical sculptures or something.
No.
Or if there's like blood sorcery art, you know.
I mean, I have
Really,
seen,
art can be anything.
I have seen rituals
So
that
true.
would allow me to change your hair color, give you tattoos. I have read about these, but no, nothing pertaining to art. That was more of your and Val's specialty.
Well-
Maybe you could do something.
Changing hair colors
That's
does
a-
sound fun.
Yeah, you could do that. You could offer that as a service.
Or tattoos. That's art.
Be
That's
the
art.
hairstylist to the kindred.
You know, it is actually the worst that I would love to change the color, but you know, eternity. For that one time, I
Would have
really
been-
liked purple.
Would have been nice for Dad to ask us, you know.
Hey, is this what
How-
you want to look like forever?
Yeah.
Well, there's a few Toreador artists around the club. I can introduce you later.
Are they any good?
I don't know. Isn't any artist who tries good?
That's really sweet.
I mean,
I think their art is beautiful.
Sure.
isn't being a good artist just part of the Toreador shtick?
I mean, kind of, yeah. They either recognize it or can make it, mostly.
And I mean, we're Lysanders. We can just also pay good artists to come in for your.
Yeah, but I want it to be, you know, authentic. I'm so tired of buying my way into shit.
Well, you know, that's the funny thing about art, from what I understand, is, I mean, you can just put whatever price you want on it and set the value there, right?
Yeah, I know. And someone will buy it. That's so usually how it goes, especially around here. It's a status piece, right?
But okay, what have you been up to, Val? I mean, this is your club or a section? Your memo was kind of vague.
No, it's not my club. It's Annabelle's, but I feel like an important person here. I don't know. They're really good at making people feel important. I've just been helping with the new kind of like VIP section, getting that organized, meeting some new people. It's been pretty fun.
This area.
It's the area we're in, right? Okay.
Yeah, this at least parts of this area, she has been working on. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Are you working right now?
I mean,
Wait, you have a job?
the grind never stops, right? But I mean, no, I invited you guys just to talk. I mean, just to see you. I missed you guys.
Huh. I missed you too.
Yeah, this is nice. This is nice.
It is.
The server returns with a blood doll for Dorian, and this particular person, they look high. They look like they.
I was not specific with what kind of kick I wanted.
Yes.
You said add a little spice.
Yeah, that is what they interpreted from that.
I said, oh, this man needs to let loose. He needs to chill.
Yes,
Yes.
I would see this blood bag come up and I'd be like, all right, we getting lit? And I'm gonna just grab the
Did you just say lit, Dorian?
What?
And
All right. I don't need the judgment. Like, are we gonna have fun?
He's learning from all the interns at Vital. He's learning the lingo.
Oh, so you learned like a year later.
I'm not lying. Like, I know it.
Are your interns?
It's a year old.
Are your interns like 35? Come on.
It's giving millennial.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
All right. I am a millennial, right?
Yes, we're all aware. We're all aware.
And this one, sir, she hands you a drink. This one, I know I said they were on the house, but this drink was specifically requested from somebody for you. And she lays a beautiful goblet of Vitae in front of you, and she points down the hall and says, "This was a request from her." And she points, and you look down, and Silas, you see a familiar face down the hallway. You see a ministry, Thea, down the hallway, just giving you a little wave and a smile down the hall as she makes eye contact with you. You see her, a face you haven't seen in many months, but she's somebody you met at a club once and made a little deal with.
He will see Thea here, and you could tell his eyes probably grow a little wide, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And he'll pick the goblet up and shears it to her.
You all see this, siblings, and you take a glance down and see just that. You see Thea at the end of the hallway. You see a beautiful kindred with short, dark hair, a septum and Medusa piercing, and wearing a long black dress with gloves that are of like a fishnet nature up her arms. And you all see her waving at your brother. None of you have, well, actually, I should say, Val, you have seen her. She is now a regular at the Succubus Club with her own private booth.
Yeah.
But Willow, you have not seen your brother with her at any point.
Did I even know that they knew each other or not?
No, So for the rest of you, this is your first time seeing this.
I think I would just assume that she's just thought he was cute or something. Guys.
You could have, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
That's
Whoa.
That's Thea. She's really fun, but maybe like a little too fun for you, Silas.
I see.
Sorry.
And is
No, he's showing interest. Let him go after.
Is
Sorry,
she a
no, I love it.
Toreador?
No, ministry, but she comes here a lot. She's regular.
I see.
Ministry are actually a little more spicy, you could say.
Oh. Maybe you should go after her, Silas. I'm sure you're her
Opposites
type.
Yeah.
attract, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's pretty opposite.
Yeah. Maybe she's really into doctors.
Some women like that.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
women love men in uniform. Men
Sure.
that make money.
Yeah.
Some.
No, I'm
It's fine.
sure she likes you for your looks at least.
No, hey, guys. This
I'm
isn't-
sure
this-
someone will like
This
you.
isn't about me. This isn't
Yeah,
about
I mean,
me.
you've dated before, right? Not that I've seen, but
Yeah,
I'm sure
not
you
that I don't
have.
think. Have we ever met any?
You know, as a matter of fact,
He did, actually,
There were
yes.
some women in my life, yes, when I was
Yeah,
in medical
one he
You
school.
was-
say that like someone who really wants to prove that they've had women in their life.
He did have one he was quite serious with, and you all thought like maybe he would marry her, but they never got married.
Right.
Maybe
Well,
you
it's
could
not.
go offer a checkup. Or something.
Here, hey, Thea, come here.
No.
And she, as she sees Val wave her over, she waltzes on down. Well.
I got him here.
If it isn't Silas Lysander Jr., the doctor is in.
Oh. No, you knew that much about
Hello again, Thea.
Oh, yes, we've met.
Oh,
Yes.
wait, Silas, you met?
Yes,
Like in what? Wait, like met or like met?
Like at the office, Matt?
we met at her club.
Silas came
At a
into
club?
my club, yes.
No.
He was
Without
just
us?
complaining about how he doesn't like to go to the club.
He hates
Oh,
clubs.
Yeah, now I
Silas
know
seems
you're
But
like
apparently he just doesn't like to be here with us, his family.
So
He
he
did
goes to
seem
the
like-
club.
he was having a good time at my club.
Yeah.
Oh!
Silas,
It's
You
not.
went to the club without us and you had fun?
you didn't invite us?
I'm definitely more mad that you had fun.
I'm more mad you had fun. Yeah.
Guys, it was purely transactional.
Oh, you paid her?
No,
He did, actually.
let's just get down. Thea, it's great to see you again. Thank you for the drink.
Of course. I was curious how things were going with your little Ventrue problem.
Oh, our Ventrue problem.
You see, when Silas came to visit me, he was.
You don't have to give. They're not interested in the details.
Oh, come now. They're
we're
your
interested.
siblings.
Don't listen to him, and I'll put my hand on like Silas's face.
He came
Continue.
just snooping around for a little information on one particular Caden Bartlett.
Oh.
Interesting.
Caden's
is-
my ex.
Oh.
Did I know that?
Actually,
Boy.
I don't think she would have mentioned that actually to you.
Girly. Why have you not been spilling the tea the last time?
Wow, you dated him, huh?
Yeah.
I guess he's pretty to look at.
He is pretty to look at, The scar is
And-
nice.
Yeah.
And how'd that end?
Well, it ended with him just ghosting me, really. I have to say, he was a great guy. We had a good time. He always treated me well for a Ventrue. And then he just kind of up and started ghosting me. I mean, maybe it has to do with like some of the stuff that I did. But yeah, it's just, we don't talk anymore. So,
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah.
For him.
Silas, I know the last time we met, it was very transactional and we had the whole exchange of like information for favors. Maybe sometime I can call in that favor.
Of course, that is how our arrangement works. I wouldn't say no. I honor my arrangements.
Arrangements. Like whisper out Willow.
Maybe then I could instill some of your skills. That thing that you Tremere do with your blood.
Oh, I know.
some of that.
Do you guys want a private table? We could totally leave. You know, maybe we should.
Thea, darling, why don't you go back to your room and I'll converse with my siblings here and I'll come meet you in a little bit.
It's more fun when we have everybody together. Last time I had to meet your uncle. Now I get to meet the rest of your siblings.
But it could be more fun.
Hey,
in
you're
private.
welcome to stay as far as we're concerned.
I think it would be fun to stay. Oh, and she looks at the blood doll you have there. Are you finished with that one?
Oh, please. And
And
We'll offer.
Get lit with us.
Oh.
Gladly. And she immediately takes a bite from this blood doll and feeds off of them without hesitation.
Okay, fine. I'll have a little.
all right. Yes. Yes. Peer pressure.
So, Lysanders, and she sits down. She's in the conversation now. Now that she's been invited to stay. So, I really am. I am curious. How are things going with the Big Bartlett? That's what I used to call him.
Oh, I bet he liked that.
The Big Bartlett.
Would you say that's
Hold on.
an accurate statement?
Tracy
That was
loves
that was an
playing
ironic
Thea right
nickname,
now
right?
because
I don't know how this is like this. I'm in my element right now with the
Yeah,
role play. All right,
yeah.
I'm letting it flow. I'm letting it
Let her
flow.
go. Let her
Oh,
go.
Big Bartlett wasn't pre-planned in your planning session.
That's in the notes.
Tell me that's on the teleprompter.
That's in the notes, dude.
This is the fun improv. Let's go.
Listen, we can fun improv at the club anytime you
Yeah. Yes. So what's the latest? What's the scoop? How are things going with Caden? Please, he has not answered any of my messages.
Oh, that's definitely a shame. I mean, we're working with him as of right now.
Oh, working with him. Interesting.
Well, we don't have much of a choice, as he does own a considerable portion of our business.
Well, that was unfortunate for poor B. Say, Silas, did you ever end up using that photo I gave you?
no, I still have it
Oh,
for a rainy
Okay.
day.
I see.
Oh.
You wanna share it?
Yeah.
I'm sure Thea wouldn't be sitting here. She didn't want us all to see it.
Is he
Yeah,
always
she-
this
What
stuffy?
kind of photo is
Yes.
this?
Oh no, he's usually worse. This is pretty loose right now.
I know. I've actually.
You got him on a good day.
Yeah, he almost smiled once tonight.
It's more
He
than a
did.
photo. It's a series of photos saved on a remote hard drive on a secure computer.
Wow, you're really.
I don't carry it with me.
That is so much less exciting than I thought it would be.
Yes.
So it's not a spicy photo.
Oh, it's
I think
spicy.
it's spicy.
Well, are you
I
gonna
know
keep teasing us, or are we
what-
gonna
yeah,
get a
what's the
little bit
photo?
of a?
I got some photos of Caden at a party. Maybe getting a little too messy with his food.
Oh.
Oh, you did.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, that's really interesting. And you said Silas has had this for some time now.
Yes. It's a big no-no, big masquerade breach, you know. We're
It
not supposed to
is.
be caught doing those things. And I just happened to catch Caden, you know, just being a little too messy. And I wasn't gonna
And you know that
do
really
anything.
is incredible information that someone could potentially use against Caden, right? That's really
It could be.
interesting information.
Interesting.
Yes. Well, your brother, I guess,
Dorian
decided
is
to keep
staring
it
at
to himself.
Silas right now.
And Silas is staring at Thea.
Oh, come now, Silas. Just have a little bit of fun.
Yeah. Hey, do we have any blood bags that have a kick for Silas here?
Well, is there something
No,
in
this
particular?
goblet is just fine, thank you.
Oh.
All right.
You're stronger than I if you can convince him to have fun.
I am having fun.
Can you say that again on camera? She doesn't really have a camera.
Again for the news, please, Mr. Lysander.
I said I am having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now say it
And,
with energy.
You get 2.
Okay. Well,
You've
that's
hit
a lot.
your
That's a new
you've hit
record.
your Silas fun quota.
Yeah. Clearly.
Well, I have to say, just regarding, I know I keep bringing him up, like, oh my god, maybe I'm hung up on Caden or something. But, like, whatever you guys need as far as Caden goes, feel free to reach out to me. I'm only a little salty that he hasn't gotten back to me. Like, I'm not so angry at him that I would wish death upon him, final death, but yeah, I am a little upset that he hasn't talked to me. So, if you ever need anything, I would just be happy to just be a little vindictive.
Well,
But it seems like you guys are, having a little thing together, then I won't interfere with that.
oh, it's nice to know where people stand, and you never know where we might stand in the future. Maybe we'll be standing together.
I think that would be lovely to be able to stand with all of the Lysanders, not just Silas here. She gently taps on your shoulder. I'd love to see more of the Lysanders in my life.
Well, I'm here every night.
Val's just like, I'm here every night.
Maybe
you know a Lysander. What do you mean?
maybe Silas could show up more often. I'm sure he has the time.
Yes, well, it's true.
Here. Show up here. On my own?
We could
You
go
can be
to
on your own.
Thea's
We can
club.
go together, Silas. You can always give me a call. Honestly, I might show up here more often. This is pretty nice.
I'm always here, literally. Every night.
And you don't have to be among the people below. You can come to my private booth that your sister was so kind to set up for me.
Oh,
course.
you designed her booth.
Yes.
Yeah, Thea's too much fun to not have around. She runs, oh, well, you know this. She runs her own club, too, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's not usually everybody's vibe, unfortunately. So sometimes I like to have my meetings here.
Hold on. Wait,
the
I just
vibe?
remembered what kind of club Thea has, and that
What
Silas
kind of
went
club
there.
does he? Dorian's gonna ask. What is the vibe at
Yeah,
at your
what's the
club?
vibe?
Oh, no.
Let's just say when when Silas and I first met, I had 2 men on leashes on their knees in front of me.
That kind of club?
I think you'd love it, Willow, honestly.
Sounds interesting.
It's almost like a live art piece, really.
It
in some
is.
ways.
I can appreciate good art.
Yeah, I think people on leashes is art.
Something.
Maybe you
Scribbles in
could
notebook.
maybe you could get Thea to do a little demonstration live action art piece at
My
your
gallery. Oh,
Oh, that would be lovely. I would be delighted.
yeah, I think it would be a piece of art. Beautiful. You should select. Do you have any NOS friends?
I have one.
That would be good.
That might be fun.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. All right. Something to consider. Her
I think
thinking.
so.
Why shouldn't I have a little
kink art gallery as a treat.
Why shouldn't you?
After all, as a treat.
But yes, it has been quite nice being able to come to this club for other business, not that kind of business. Hopefully you all find it as a place to enjoy as well. The booth right down the hall that way, that big red one with the velvet door, that of course is Prince Jackson's. Mm-hmm. He sometimes comes here. He was actually just here last night. Interesting. Silas, you know what I'm thinking might be fun? I'm kind of interested in Prince Jackson. Like, I would love to go on a date with him. I think he's single.
Okay, so
I mean, he's here often.
You want to
isn't
go
he?
on a date with the prince?
you can just ask him. That's how
Maybe
that
you
works.
can help me, Silas.
Oh, he's not good at that sort of thing. I don't know.
Well, he's
Maybe
You
you
want-
can help me ask Prince Jackson if he'd want to go on a date with a ministry, Thea Noel.
I would be happy to ask him for you.
Please, can I be in the room when you ask?
This is okay.
If you do that, we can consider the boon absolved.
Oh. Wow, you got yourself
That's-
into a boon, huh? Interesting.
Those photos didn't come for free.
What Thea had to offer was worth the business arrangement.
Arrangement.
Asking Prince Jackson on a date for you, I don't see why not.
Sure. There could be no bad reason to do that at all.
No, I'm sure not. After all, he loves our family so much, I'm sure he'll say yes.
Yes, it's that or maybe a little blood magic ritual for me. You can pick.
We can talk more in depth later. I'm open to either or.
Fine by me. Look, I think I have maybe taken a bit too much of the family bonding time. But it was quite lovely to be able to meet all of you.
It was eye-opening.
Certainly was.
That's not how you compliment a girl, Silas. I'll see you around, Thea.
I will see you around, Val.
I'll see you around, Thea.
She gets up and she very provocatively stands up and intentionally intentionally to Silas, actually. She'll lean down and her dress kind of is open and the front and giving Silas a bit of a view. And then and then she gets up and leaves.
Runs her finger across his shoulders.
Yes.
Love.
She's a character.
Little bend and snap, yeah.
She's something.
Yeah. So how often you go to that club, Silas?
Yeah, you went to her club, Silas?
Can't believe you did that.
When we were... This was months ago. When we were looking for ammo against our enemy,
Mm-hmm.
Jacques took me there. She had something to offer, and I gave up a boon. And then we left.
And then you never used it.
And then you never told us about it.
You wanted to work with him. I had it just in case something went wrong.
Yes, I wanted to work with him Silas, that doesn't mean that I didn't want to know what options we had at our disposal. Why would I not? How could it help us for us to not know that we had this ammo? You went looking for this and you found it, but you didn't want to tell us.
It was my boon to give.
I don't
Right.
understand that. What do you mean?
I gave the boon. It was my discretion when to use the things I was given. I told you in the limo that night we made the deal with him that I gave up a boon. I made it very clear that I wasn't just going to roll over for him. No one asked. No one ever said, "Oh, what did you give up for it?" You didn't care.
I didn't care what you gave up for it. I wanted to know. I would have assumed you would have told us what you got if it was something interesting.
Well, you could have asked.
Is this some kind of like word games? I gotta,
Look, I still have it. It can still be used. It's not squandered. You got what you wanted. It's not gone. It's not wasted. Realistically, it probably has more value now than it did before.
Maybe. I don't understand why you wouldn't tell us. I mean, you were angry at Willow for making decisions without the family. This is kind of the same thing, right?
You want to talk about you want to talk about decisions without discussing the family. How come I'm seeing a Pexinol being talked about at the hotel? Or not the hotel, at the hospital.
What's the problem? That's business.
It was never agreed to hit the open market. It was strictly military.
Well, options opened up. There's an opportunity to make more money. We're gonna take it. I don't see when you've ever cared about the family business before.
I care
and
about
I've
it when
offered
it's
you. I've offered you to be involved.
I don't want to fight at the club. Val, I apologize. This isn't how I meant this night to go.
No, it's expected.
Should get another.
Positive.
Should get another drink. Right?
We're family, right? This is how it goes. But we're all here.
Nothing.
You see the server, and she quickly brings over another blood doll, also on something.
Could be anything.
It could be anything.
Not asking.
Not asking, just feeding. Which, by the way, Dorian, if you are hungry, which I don't think you are because you're constantly feeding off people, you can.
For the last 3 months.
For the last 3 months, you can give yourself or satiate your hunger.
I did have one. Okay.
And
or I did have 2, so down to 1.
a blade down to 1. Yes.
Look, I'm willing to talk about it at a normal level. The reason I didn't tell you is because I wanted to be valued. Okay? If you want the honest fucking truth, I wanted it to have a large impact for what I gave. And I didn't think at the time that it would be as impactful as what we were planning together at that dinner. That is the God-given truth.
Okay, that's fine. I guess it just. I mean, that means then you thought that we couldn't handle that information at the time, or something, right? Like you thought we would have wanted to use it right away.
Absolutely, you would have squandered it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I see.
All right. Nice.
Am I wrong?
No,
I guess we'll never fucking know.
I still have it. We can, like I said, we can still use it. It is secure. You're telling me if I would have showed you that, you wouldn't have leaked it instantaneously. I want your honest answer.
This was after we had already made the deal to work with him?
At any point.
If it was before, you probably would have been right. But after, no. I'm not that hot-headed. I can keep things under control.
Look,
And then
Silas.
he takes another drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say Silas looking at the second blood doll that Dorian is feeding on.
Yep. There's just 2 people laying on our table.
And you kind of see Dorian slur his words more as he's talking in this, as he takes another drink from an intoxicated Kine.
But now I owe Thea a boon. That's the gist of it.
Well, I mean, as far as that goes, to be honest, this can't be that bad. She didn't ask you to get a date just to ask him, right?
You're the political one.
The political one.
You're the political one.
I don't know what that means. Like, do I just knock on Kevin Jackson's door and say, "Hey, I met Thea. She wants to go on a date with you." Like some sort of high schooler. Like, "Hey, I know someone has a crush on you."
Silas, no.
Oh,
you have
man.
To, you have to
If it were
wingman
that,
it.
yeah, if it were that simple, she would just do it herself.
She can't look too eager. You should set it up like it's his idea. Like, I
should
haven't
bring it
seen
up.
a date.
Yeah. Hey, Prince Kevin Jackson, you should go on a date with the dominatrix drug dealer. Yeah, that sounds like a perfect fucking idea.
No!
Oh,
You
might
bring
like
it
that.
in
I don't- what's-
casually.
Yeah, you let him find out that she's a dominatrix, Doug. He probably knows already.
He probably knows. His booth is right next to hers.
Wait a minute, you're supposed to be a little more positive when you're trying to wingman someone. You want
I'm
them
subtle.
to like them,
Okay.
but you want them to think it's their idea, or at least mostly their idea. You don't want it to be her idea.
This is
That's
so
why you're doing
This
it.
is complicated.
Oh my! You're a doctor.
That's why it's a boon.
This
And
would
what
be
what does that
so
mean?
much funnier if it wasn't the prince. It's still pretty funny.
Well, she
Oh, it's
also
funny.
might need some ritual, and that's a lot
Well,
easier.
then you
Then do that.
I need to hear her out.
Yeah,
Last-
what ritual?
Exactly.
out?
Exactly. Willow, get your head out of the gutter.
Might do you some good.
I can't argue there.
Anyway, back to a Pexinol on the open market.
Oh yeah, we want to get back to the fun.
Oh, yeah,
you
the
wanna
fun
do this
talk.
now?
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, 3 months ago it was strictly for the military, and now it's being hawked almost over the counter. It's as easy as
It
getting
only
a
helps.
antibiotic script.
It's passing FDA regulations. It's legal. I don't know what more you want, Silas. We need power. We need leverage. The better this company does, the better Vital does
and-
under my leadership.
And don't you think you should have came to me and said, "Hey, Silas, you know that drug that you cooked off with werewolf hormones and shit? Yeah, we're going to give it to Mom and Pop and see how they react." Don't you think you should have came to me and mentioned that?
It still has to pass all kinds of safety regulations.
It's the fucking talk of the hot. It's hotter than Viagra, Dorian.
It's gonna make us a lot of money.
Have you seen any reports from the field? Haven't seen anything come across my desk. Any
I
side
haven't
effects?
seen- There are side effects. I haven't seen anything that falls anywhere in the realm of worry for us.
Could you send me those so I can take a look at them?
Absolutely. Silas, you could have your own office. You could be involved at any level that you want to be. The invitation is open to you. I'm not hiding anything from you. Unlike you are.
I'm gonna take you up on that. I need a good amount of medical supplies that can be untraced. You own a medical company. I'll take that as my payment.
Okay. Okay. I just gotta know what they are, but that's fine.
I'll write the reagents down for you and send them your way.
I have no problem with that. This is good. This is good. I feel like we had like a breakthrough here.
This is the perfect place to stop and go dancing now.
Oh God, Val.
Please, you went to a kink club without me.
It would have been weirder if he went with you.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
Please. It's different here. It's different. It's so much better.
As do we promise to not overindulge?
Dorian, you're not
does
allowed
that
to buy
mean?
drinks for everyone.
I'm not gonna buy drinks.
We're
for
just
everyone here.
dancing. Dorian,
what is the issue?
we're
I'm
just
gonna
going to
dance.
dance. That's
Yeah,
it.
I won't buy drinks for everybody.
Or get any more drinks for now. Maybe when we come back up here.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna go
Fine.
dance. Let's
Yeah,
go,
we're gonna
let's
go dance. That's
I'll
fine.
grab some arms and try and drag them.
I gotta talk to Thea. I should probably do that sooner rather than later.
Oh! Okay, but bring her to the dance floor after.
Oh, gee. Maybe I can make that part of the deal or something.
You either need to bring her or use us on the dance floor as your escape. There is no other option.
Deal.
That's my boon.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, have fun! And then I'll like try and loop my arms through Willow and Dorian's. Go down to
The three of you make your way down to the dance floor. It's illuminated. It's electric. And there are kindred and kine alike here. If any of you wish to feed, it's kind of an open feeding area. Some areas of the dance floor, it's much easier to feed on people if you wanted to. So if that desire came upon you, you absolutely could.
I'll see the look in Dorian's eyes. Now we're dancing.
We're dancing.
We're
I'm not.
dancing.
Silas, you head over to Thea's private booth with a door that opens and no windows to see inside. As you close the door and you see her sitting kind of sprawled out on a couch with a drink in hand. Oh. I'm surprised you actually did come to see me, Doctor.
I honor my deals, as is the way. After we made our boon, I did some research into them, and probably shouldn't let 9-month-old fledglings make decisions like that, but I don't intend on breaking it.
Oh, it's quite all right. It's just a boon. It's not like they're dealt in all the time. And again, it's not like I'm asking you to do something so intensive. Just a simple date or a little blood magic. It's truly not that bad for a major boon.
What is this blood magic you need?
Honestly, it's quite simple. Well, I was looking to potentially commune with somebody who has passed on.
Okay.
And I was wondering if maybe you could help me set up a ritual for that. To talk to spirits.
I've read of such things.
Yes. It's really tough because I was also thinking of something else I could really use. I know that you do those things with the, oh, what are they called? Bloodstones.
Yes.
I really, I promise I'm not hung up on him, but every once in a while I wonder what Caden's up to. And I was just thinking that, like, maybe just putting a little bloodstone in his area, in his office, just so we can check on him every once in a while and see how things are going over there,
Well, it doesn't act as a sort of listening device. It's merely a GPS tracker in a sense.
Maybe we can slip it in one of his little stuffy suit pockets, because he always wears the same ones.
He does.
I know which one is his favorite, so maybe we slip it in that one. Really, I mean, I would love if we could, like, maybe get both of those done. A little ritual here, a little bloodstone there.
The first ritual to commune with someone is going to take some time.
Time.
Rituals do take quite a bit of time to learn. They're not as easy as 1, 2, 3. And since since I don't know this particular ritual, but I have read of it, it's going to take some weeks.
Okay, so how about the down payment is the bloodstone? And then the payment plan is the ritual.
Before I agree, can I ask who you're trying to communicate with?
Well, let's just say it was somebody who used to be embedded in Chicago and is no longer here.
Okay.
I just have some questions to ask them.
Do you know where they passed?
I have a suspicion they might have passed on the lake.
On the lake? Like on a boat?
Perhaps.
From what I've read, you need to find the location to relative closeness. We're talking feet. That's how spirits cling to this world. Generally one location. So you'll need to figure that out. Secondary, you'll need to have something that belonged to them, something dear. A memento, a token, something their spirit would like to latch onto. And third,
Okay.
or are they human or kindred?
They were kindred.
So I'll need to look into what happens to a kindred soul, if it even still exists.
Sometimes. Sometimes they go elsewhere.
Correct. The ritual, I'll have to look into it, but I can do that. Bloodstone, easy enough. I can have that cooked up in a matter of days. The only problem is, in order for you to recognize the bloodstone, I will need a sample of your blood. If I use my blood, it links to me. And Thea, as much as I love your charming personality, you have matters to attend to that I can't be at your beck and call for a week's time.
Unfortunate, yes. Giving a Tremere my blood. Oof, that's quite a dangerous game I'm playing.
That is
but
how
I
blood
do like-
sorcery works.
I am what they call a pleasure seeker. I like to live a bit dangerously. So sure,
Okay.
you can take some of my blood. You sure you don't want to take it directly from me?
I am positive.
Oh, right. We can't do that bonding thing.
Correct.
Unfortunate.
I mean,
All right.
I don't know if Silas just walks around with vials and stuff, but
I feel like he does. He just opens his jacket.
yeah,
and he's got like vials.
he's just got a vial in his pocket. I mean, he does blood source, so maybe. Yeah, and so he will, take a bit
Okay,
of her
yeah.
vitae into the vial.
And you have a bit of Thea's vitae in your possession.
I'll return here with the bloodstone.
Perfect.
I may need to do some... Now I remember. Give me 1 second. You'll have 7 days after the bloodstone is created, and you'll be able to track the bloodstone wherever it goes.
Perfect. I've always wanted one of these. Personal little tracker, since we can't use technology in the Camarilla, though I don't really follow those all the time. But, the whole GPS tracking thing doesn't work, so we have to resort to this.
You do know that Caden has a Banu Hakim in his employment, correct?
Oh, yes. I'm not afraid of the Banu Hakim.
And I don't know if you're aware that a simple sense the unseen will be able to sense the bloodstone.
Yes.
I'm just informing you of...
The risks.
Yes.
Like I said, I take risks.
Okay. We'll have to set up a meeting with Caden so we can put the bloodstone on his person. That shouldn't be too hard. I'm sure Dorian could muster up a board meeting or something, and since it is vital and has to do with medical, I can figure out how to be there. I'll be in touch with how the ritual's going, but the down payment will be the bloodstone.
I look forward to your updates.
Shall I find you here or at your own club?
I think here will suffice.
Well, then I will meet you here.
Lovely.
It's been an honor doing business, Thea.
Business, yes, of course.
Or pleasure, whatever you want to call it.
Thank you, Silas.
Thank you, Thea. And I hope to see you again.
We will.
Oh, that is true. Have a good evening.
Are you not gonna ask her to dance like your sister requested?
Oh, that's correct. I totally forgot.
Shit, maybe I should have had you forget.
Yeah, one last thing. My sister has requested your presence on the dance floor with myself.
Is that really how you're going to ask me to dance, Silas? Truly? Man, you...
That's your wingman.
Thea, would you like to dance?
I would love to. And she once again provocatively gets up and grabs your arm and heads to the floor to join your siblings. The four of you spend an evening.
As we walk to the dance floor and Silas meets eye contact with Val, he's going to be like...
Boon complete.
The four of you spend the evening together at the club. Is there any last things that anybody would like to do or say to each other? And with that, with nothing else, the night goes on with our siblings reconnecting and some level of uneasiness, perhaps, is the word I would say, though trying to keep everybody together as siblings, there are also still things that each of you are struggling with in your own way. And I think for next week, we will learn a bit more about those struggles and how each of you are going to fight through them. As there are still many things on the to-do list, on the agenda. And I will say for each of you for next week, the big thing to think about is what you want to do with this bigger picture that you've learned with your family, if anything at all. Or if you want to just continue living your own lives. That's also absolutely something you can do. But it's something to think about and consider